Welcome back to What She Said. You are with your hosts. I am Paige.
I'm Moira.
And I'm Emma.
Today we're delving into a story about my dating life.
Ooh.
It's it's gonna have your ups, downs, turnarounds going, what the heck? But let's get into it. So this was a couple of weeks ago, and I want to kind of get your thoughts on it all and just what am I doing wrong? I went to watch one of my workmates play. He is a soloist. He does gigs at different pubs around Lonnie. And my friend and I just decided that we're going to hang around and continue drinking and just make a night of it because it was a Friday night. We're there, and these two guys rocked up, and my mate, she's a very bubbly person, and she was like, "You're single. Let's talk to people." So she invited these two guys over to the table, and they were chatting away about their partners and their kids. That's completely cool. It's no interest. That's fine. And the initial way that they introduced themselves was, "We're brothers." And I was like, "You guys aren't brothers." And they're like,
That old
"Yeah,
chestnut.
we're twins." I was like, "You guys are not twins." And they're like, "We were separated at birth." It's like,
Ugh.
what the hell
God.
are you talking about? I said, "For starters, I'm pretty good with facial recognition and, pointing out the identicalness of people." I said, "You're not identical." Said, "I wouldn't even call yourselves brothers." And they're like, yeah, no, we've only just gotten back into contact with each other. I was
Oh my
like,
God.
this is the weirdest thing ever. We're going to call them Paul and Simon. Okay.
Mhm.
So Paul is a chef. Simon, no idea what he does. Simon um, has a little girl, has a partner, and has just moved down to Lonnie and is staying in a backpackers. So Paul then throws out this, "Simon was almost stabbed tonight." I was like, what the hell? This is completely flabbergasted by this. What is going on? What weird alternate universe have I stepped into where these people are always getting stabbed? They're pretending to be brothers. And one of the things that first spiked up with a flag was, well, they're brothers, but one of them's living in a backpackers while the other one's living in some other place. I was like, that maybe, Simon lives in a one bedroom place. I don't know,
Mm.
but this is really weird. Bar that we were at was closing, so we had to move on. We've decided to move on, and we're walking down to the next place.
They turned
And
the ugly lights on and kicked you out.
yeah. So then Paul and Simon and I were standing out the front, and Paul's like, "Oh, we're going to come clean with you. We're not brothers." I was like,
Oh shit,
"Yeah, I
sure.
called that." I already said that you weren't brothers. Like, it's completely obvious that you're not brothers. So it's completely obvious that you're not even related. Like, and they're like, "Yeah, well, you called it, but we just wanted to come clean with you." I was like, "Okay, cool." Paul goes, "I've got to go home, back to the backpackers because I've got to work in the morning." So we say our goodbyes, and Simon comes to the next place. Now, when Simon was talking about his little girl and everything, he showed me a picture of her, absolutely cute as button, but his screensaver was his partner, right? So keep that in mind. So then we're going down to the next place, and my friend has we'll call it a situationship. Those were her words. Like, so she invites her situationship out. We're all having a great time and a really fun evening, right? There's no expectations, nothing. So then that bar is going to close, and it's like 1:30 in the morning, something ridiculous like that. The situationship was like, "Do you guys need a lift home?" And I said, yeah, that would be really good. And so we said to Simon, "Oh, do you need a lift home?" And he's like, yeah, that I just need to make a phone call. So he ducks around this little corner, and then he goes, "Hey, Paige, come here for a second." Now it's still dark, but it's bright enough.
I'm getting slasher vibes. But you go ahead.
And he goes, I really like you. And I was like, thanks. And he goes, I really want to kiss you right now. And I was like, no, mate, that's not going to happen. And he goes, I'm not with my partner. I was like, dude, you've got her as a screensaver. She's literally the first thing that you see when you look at your phone. She obviously holds a significant part in your life. And he's like, yeah, but we're just not together anymore. And I was like, right, well, nothing is going to happen between us. So that's first and foremost. I said, I am a woman who is a destination for a man. I said, I'm not some little weekend away while you try and sort your shit out. So that's not me. And if I was a woman who didn't have as much confidence in myself, this would probably work, but it's not going to work. And he goes, oh, okay. All right then. Yeah, you make some really good points. And I've just never met anyone like you before. Like you know who you are. You're really comfortable with yourself. You're absolutely beautiful. And I was like, I really appreciate your kind words. Still, nothing's going to happen. So anyway, we get into the car. We're driving along. And he's like, Paige, can I please just come back to your place? I was like, no, mate, it's not happening. And he's like, all right, okay. Well, can you just pull over?
On the side of the road.
On the side of the road, like we were heading on our way out of Lonnie, and he's like, just pull over here. Here's fine. So we pull over. He gets out and immediately disappears. No idea where this guy's gone. I'll also say somehow we ended up exchanging numbers, and I still do not understand how this happened. So no idea how this has happened. Oh, we had a lot of drinks. There was a lot of drinks. A lot of drinks.
That's how that happened.
So he gets out of the car and completely disappears. We did a U-turn to head back to my place. And I was like to my mate, I actually don't think he has anywhere to stay. And that's why he was pressing to stay at my place. And she was like, do you know, the whole night the vibes have been really weird. And I was like, I absolutely agree with you. So anyway, drops me off at my house and I get this call. And I was like, hello? And he's like, hi, Paige, it's Simon. I was like, hey, how you going? Are you okay? Like, what's going on? He's like, yeah, I just wanted to say how awesome you are. Do you reckon I could drive my car over to your house? I was like, mate, you are wasted to start off with. And second of all, I'm not telling you where I live. That's not going to happen. And he's like, yeah, okay. All right. Yeah. And then we were talking about something going on the lines of, you know, you need to sort your shit out before you even entertain the idea of having someone else in your life. You've obviously got a lot going on. It was basically, I felt like a counselor.
Oh my God.
And I was on the phone to him for probably an hour.
Oof.
And then I was like, mate, I've got to go. I'm really tired. I just got to go. So then we hang up. In the morning, I wake up to 16 missed calls. I was like, what the dickens is going on here? So just to make sure that he's okay, because that's the sort of person I am, I was like, dude, are you all good? Like, you called me a lot. And he goes, yeah, I haven't saved my brother's phone number in my phone yet. So I was trying to call him, but was actually calling you. I was like, yeah, right, okay. Never spoke to him again.
Good
Like,
riddance.
That hurts my head and I'm sober.
yeah. How do you think I feel?
Kudos to you, because I wouldn't have even hung out with them that night. That's just weird.
To be fair, no, hold on. To be fair, okay, they're trying to play off that they're brothers. They're telling you this story. Emma, when we lived in Ireland and we were driving backwards and forwards between Belfast and Athlone, we got stuck behind a circus truck. And this was a travelling circus travelling all around Ireland. And in that moment, we decided, when we were travelling to Belfast for the weekend, we thought, hey, do you think that we should pretend to be part of this travelling circus? If anyone asks us when we go out, I mean, it's legitimate. There's a circus travelling around Ireland. It's very believable.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, you can be the cardboard box repairman.
Yeah.
That's fun. And if you don't mind, I'm going to take your flexibility and morph it into me because I'm desperately single.
And that's
And
a
I
real
will
good
be
attraction.
the human pretzel. And
Yeah.
when I met people, I was like, I'm the human pretzel.
Yeah. It was so good. We had so many people believe in us.
Oh my
We
god.
did this out. What do you do? Because everyone asks me, hi,
That's not
what's your
actually-
name? What do you do? Oh, I'm a cardboard box repairman.
Yeah.
I'm a what? Cardboard box
Well,
repairman.
you know
The winter is my best season. Like, you know, the rainy weather and everything. Yeah.
But look, and that's not the first time we've told little white lies, Paige.
Yeah.
We also had bought same shirts in New Zealand.
Mm.
And as we were walking through airports, people thought that we were athletes. So we kind of came up with this backstory that we were the New Zealand bobsledding team.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh
True
my
story.
gosh.
True story. People would be looking at us and I was like, yeah. They'd be like, oh, is that New Zealand? Yeah, we're part of the bobsled team. Didn't know New Zealand had a bobsled team. I know, under wraps.
Sure do. Yeah.
Oh, so we
That's
just
hilarious.
we've told little white lies too.
We have. Just on the whole brother thing. Okay, so I've actually been told that story myself. And I've ended up
What
with...
do you mean it's not just for me?
That's a unique story,
I've
is it not?
That's right. I've ended up with one part of that brother team. But to be
Get
fair,
out.
they showed me their licenses and they both have the same last name. They knew each other very well. They actually lived together. It was very believable. And for weeks, I thought that they were brothers.
That's hilarious.
And it wasn't until we actually started not just going on dates, but actually going, okay, are we a thing? He's like, oh, I've got something to tell you. This person's not actually my brother. We're not related at all. We just by coincidence have the same last name.
That's hilarious. Well, at least they had their numbers saved, right?
Yeah, that's weird. I love how they said it before you moved on to the next place. We're not brothers, but then he must have forgot and was like, I forgot my brother's number. No, mate, we've already done that. We know you're not.
Yeah, exactly.
There is a key point to that plan, and it is to remember.
Because I'm single, obviously, you both know how great I am in selecting partners.
I mean, you're like...
Don't hold back.
How do I put this nicely? It's like you like stray injured animals, and you're like, oh, I want to care for you and let me help you. And
I tell you how to fix those strays. Set them out to pasture.
Yeah, send them to the farm. So thinking about the fact that I'm very good at finding strays, what's one piece of advice that you'd give me in regards to trying to find someone?
What time of the night did you meet these people?
This was probably at about 9 o'clock.
Oh, so early.
That's my first thing. As soon as you were getting the weird feeling, I would have cut my losses and gone.
Yeah.
Cut and run.
Secondly, you said before, and I almost pulled you up, when that place closed, even if it closed at 10. That's your second lesson. You need to leave before the lights come on. Because
Very Cinderella story.
That means you've overstayed.
Before they see that your carriage turns into a pumpkin and your dress falls to pieces. And they realize your horses are mice.
That's right. It means you've overstayed your welcome pretty much. So you need to leave that place before the lights come on. Don't be that girl. You're not 18.
Don't travel with people who are weird. Don't bring them to the next place. So you agree with Emma. You know how you would go to a park And your dogs go off and they just like play with all the other dogs. And your kids go up and go, hey, you want to play on the slide? And they're just like, yeah, random kids, let's go play. They don't care, right? So they just go and talk to people. I don't know why adults are so afraid of talking to other people. Maybe we've learned judgment and rejection and all that sort of stuff. Maybe that's what it is. Kids have no fear. Kids are just like, hey, you're a kid, I'm a kid, do you want to play? Awesome, let's do that. When we were trying to find you a guy and we all had the shirts on, the number of people that we talked to that would come up to us and talk to us that we would intentionally go to talk to because we had a job to do. It was amazing. And we spoke to so many people that night. Like so many men were talking to us. Like we were going up to tables of people. People were coming up to us and asking us, what's the go with the shirts? So I feel like you need to go and approach people. Be a kid and just go and talk to people. If they look or seem interesting, find something about love your hair, like they have the little stretchers or whatever. That's really cool. Like, or just talk like your shirt. What brings you here? Whatever it is. Just start going and talking to people and don't bring them to the next place. Because when Emma and I were walking, we talked to these really two cool guys who told us about the Speakeasy Club. So really, like, it's a hidden one. It's down here. Come and see it. Like, come afterwards. We brought the other people that we met at the bar and we were like, we're going here. Oh, that sounds cool. Let's go. We all went in the same direction. We all went to that Speakeasy. And you said, Emma, that they were circling around to try and come and talk to us. But because you were talking already to two other guys, they didn't come near you. So don't bring people to the next place. If they seem interesting, say, hey, let's connect on socials or let's exchange messenger or whatever, maybe not phone numbers. And then we'll catch up another time. Then move to the next place and meet someone else.
Yeah, okay.
Don't bring them around.
It's funny that you say that because my uncle was here the other day and he's like, guys want women to make the first move because they don't know whether or not they're allowed to or if they're going to get their head bitten off or what. And I was like, so I need to make the first move. And then they can carry it from there.
It's honestly,
so it's funny amazing that you say that.
It's amazing the amount of people that we ended up talking to in that one night.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the shirts really did help.
Yeah,
but the fact that we were just outgoing, like we weren't there for anything other than to have fun with our friends and to just help you find a husband.
Yeah.
And it was genuine conversation with people. It wasn't trying to be cute or like sorry. Oh, I mean, not from us anyway. Maybe you, Paige.
No. I agree. You just need to move on. You need to talk to people. You're so bubbly. You're so outgoing, and people want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Allow them. Don't let the tag-alongs that are nothing going to happen anyway ever. Don't allow them to kind of suck the life out of you so other people can't approach you.
See, that's part of the problem though. I'm so oblivious to people trying to talk to me.
If in your conversation you find out that they have a partner, then I would say that they're not interested in you, or that's probably someone you don't want to be talking to. You'd be like, that's really nice. Okay, I'm here for a husband, so I'm going to move on now.
Yeah.
Like, you're really awesome, and I hope you find someone to talk to tonight, and I would love to keep talking to you, but I have a mission.
Yeah.
I have a purpose, and you're cock blocking me. So unless you want to be a wingman, they go away.
But the other problem is that I don't have any people down here that want to go out.
That is tricky. Emma and I used to be like this dynamic duo. Like I remember when we went out one time to the casino and we were just living like it was just the two of us in the casino. We were just dancing and having a good time, mucking about, being silly, dancing silly. We never sexy danced at all. We were more like chicken dance style.
Never.
Like,
I don't even think I know how to sexy dance.
No. But I remember a group of guys came up to us and now their story was that they were federal police.
Of course.
Yeah. But they I mean, they were quite they when you look at someone you go,
they did give off the Fed.
Yeah, they
appearance.
did.
Yeah, right.
But they were like, can we like stand with you? Because it was like those tall standy tables. Because you guys look like a lot of fun. And we're like, I mean, sure, but like we're going off to dance, so like we might be back. And we would just go off and like have a bit of fun and then come back to the table and oh yeah, right, so what do you do? Like, I'm
Yeah.
a cardboard box repairman. What do you do? Oh, I'm part of the police. All right.
So, I know that timing has a lot to do with things. Do you think that you meet the right person at the right time, or do you think that you really need to instigate that timing?
I think that can just be an excuse, timing, but it can also be it can be bullshit and it can be true.
Yeah.
It could be someone coming out of a relationship and they're just mentally not ready to move forward. I mean, if you had met someone who was great, but you were so young and immature at the time that it didn't work, and you wanted different things, and he wanted to travel and you wanted a family, and that's bad timing, right? Because then
Yeah.
20 years down the track, you go, well, you've done your traveling, and I'm ready to have a family now, so it's actually good timing. So, but it can also be, oh, yeah, I'm just not ready, and it's like, if you're just not interested, then just say you're not interested.
If you really both like each other, you're going to make it work whether the timing is right or not. But yeah, I agree. So if you've already met someone and then you re-meet 20 years down the track, I would call that fate. I don't know. Do people believe in
For all of our
that
math,
sliding doors
yeah,
moments?
sliding
Like,
doors.
Yeah.
I don't know. You got to make it happen, especially when you get to our age.
Yeah, timing's different when you're younger.
So, my next question,
Mm,
because I need all the help that I can get.
go for it.
What qualities do you think I should be looking for in order to find that elusive long-term partner? Not a friend with benefits,
I mean,
but someone.
it really comes down to what your values are. So someone who's a friend, who's also, you can take it to the next level with, who's pretty genuine, who's just not trying to be something they're not, who's
Yeah.
funny. They also have good values. I mean, at this stage of life, you want them to be able to at least cook 2 meals. That would be good. Like,
Yes.
spag bowl and steak in bed. That's not hard. If you could just cook that, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Someone who's more obsessed with you than mowing their lawn and how good their lawn looks, and that is a thing at like 40.
Yeah. I think you're quite lighthearted. So yeah, somebody that's fun, really.
Yeah.
And that has, even if they're older, you need to have a child at heart, not a man child, but
No.
somebody that can see the lighter side of things and
Yeah.
laugh about things, not be too
Yeah.
serious.
Yeah.
Wants to enjoy life.
Yes. And see that's absolutely, I think you guys have hit the nail on the head. If I could just write this down, because that's all correct. I need to be able to be my light-hearted self, but I also do know that there's times where things need to be serious, and you've got to be able to go through the trenches with that person and know that they're going to be by your side. They're your partner in crime. I think that's probably more way of looking at things, is that I need a partner in crime, like someone to have fun with,
Yeah.
someone to just be at my side.
So, I mean, we've spoken about, we don't really envy the fact that you are single. And I'm gonna point out the number one reason why I don't envy you. What I don't like is the fact that when you go out, you probably feel more like you have to get dolled up and, look your best. And the reason I say this is because when we were down there, I also felt like, okay, I kind of need to look half decent because I'm trying to be your wing woman. I borrowed your suck-in underwear. So it was shorts and it went up to under my bust. So it was all there and it like sucked you in. But
they're amazing.
Yeah, it was good. It had boning in it. And so it kind of pulled you all in. But what I didn't like is I didn't know. I wore my underwear underneath it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, well, how am I going to get this thing down when I need to go to the toilet?
How do I wee in this contraption?
How do I wee? And then you, Paige, said, there's a little split in the crotch area. You can just kind of pull it aside. I'm like, but I wore undies. And you're like, oh, there's your mistake. You should not have worn underwear. When I had a couple of drinks, because I generally don't drink too much. It made me need to go a lot more. It was almost felt like every 15 minutes I was having a wee. So I'm kind of,
And your bladder's not what it used to be after 3 kids.
That's right. And this is pushing on my bladder. So I'm quickly racing to the toilet. And the first time I tried to wee, I was like, I can't pull this down. I'm going to have to use the split. And then I was like, but my undies are like stuck in there in place that I can't rip them to the side. So I like had to quickly try and rip them to one side. And then I was doing all this with one hand because I had bad
Contortion.
knees. So I was supporting myself on the wall.
You really were being a human pretzel.
And I thought I'd wet myself. I could feel heat. And I was like, this is warm and this is not good. I've just wet myself. I've weed on my undies somehow and it's soaked through and I'm going to smell like
How dark are my jeans? Can I get away with it?
That's right. Well, I didn't actually wee. It just felt like I did. And then the next time when I weed, I got a little better and I pulled the split further apart and I figured out how to lean on the wall without supporting myself with my arm. So I was kind of hanging over the toilet, hovering, doing the backwards kanga, leaning on the wall.
Oh my God.
While I was
too much effort.
You know,
There's too much effort.
It was a lot of effort. And I just don't know. Like, I just felt like I was going to wee myself all the time because I couldn't figure out these bloody pants. And you have to do this all the time. I feel for you.
So, not that we're affiliated and we're not getting promo for this, but Figure by Jules is what you were wearing, and they do. They absolutely snatch in, do they not? Did you feel snatched?
I actually did. It was a tummy tuck in a bodysuit.
Exactly. And that's why I like them. I wore that to one of my friends' weddings. I didn't wear underpants underneath them because I knew how to work them.
You know what? If I was to wear those again, probably not yours, I would buy my own.
Yeah.
And that's why I wore undies, right? I know you'd wash them and I know you would wash them after me, but it was just, it's all kind of weird, right? Anyways, friends do friends things.
That's right. How long have we been friends now?
You've seen me on the toilet.
Exactly.
It's just a lot of effort to be single. Too much effort for me. I don't envy you. Oh my God. I remember going to a pub years ago. This is like at least, 18 years ago. And I went to a pub for drinks after work in the city. And we were having these cocktails, me and this lady. And this guy came over. And I was like, oh, do you know when you just like want to have a girls' night in the catch up and stuff, and then some man comes over and he's like, hey, and I guess I'm the perfect example of why men don't come over, right? So this is why you need to approach them.
So it's you.
It's me, and I just was given like, go away. I've had a big day at work. I'm here to have a drink and catch up with my friend and just talk shit. I don't want anyway. I should have used my instincts because it was just so annoying. He was an occupational therapist. So don't date an occupational therapist.
Yeah.
Because here's the common mistakes people make. They ignore the red flags. Okay?
Yeah.
He would ask me a question that started every single question with, on a scale of 1 to 10.
Oh my God.
There was like the questions just kept coming. And he was like,
is this a job interview?
He was like, so can I ask you? And I was like, is it on a scale of 1 to 10? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, oh. It was so annoying. He had no social cues, so he couldn't pick up on the fact that I just kept ignoring him.
Oh, wow.
So don't ignore the red flags. Get out of there as soon as possible.
Gut instinct. Follow your gut. So I know that you just touched on it then, Mo, but what do you think the common mistakes are that people make when it comes to trying to find someone? And obviously red flags are the big one.
Yeah.
But do you think there's anything else?
I mean, anyone who calls himself a warrior, steer clear. I guess it's really whatever your pet peeves are is probably your red flag and your ick. the ick factor, remember?
Yeah.
So I guess mine would be someone who doesn't use indicators and doesn't wave to say thank you if someone lets them in, when you drive along. That's my red flag. That's a definite no.
Yes.
You need to get a lead for these chooks that you just got and take your chooks on a walk.
I know, right? Penny, Sandy, and Patricia. They are going to.
Oh my god.
They're going to be the best wing women ever. Get it? Because they got wings.
Because they got wings. I know, I got it.
So that has been the latest on my dating disasters. If you have a cousin or an uncle or a brother,
Father, in-law.
advice, that'd be great. Think of your girl, me. And thank you for hanging out with us. I am one of your hosts, Paige.
I'm Moira.
And I'm Emma.
And you've been listening to What She Said. Bye.
Bye.